Perhaps you've heard of India's undiscovered coastal gem, Lakshadweep. There are about 36 beautiful islands in this Union territory, 10 of which are inhabited. Although this archipelago is well known for its incredible marine life and unspoiled beaches, a home to approximately 600 fish species, 78 coral species, and 82 seaweed species, it has a much richer history than you probably realize. With 36 islands making up an archipelago, Lakshadweep, also known as Lakshadweep, may not have much land area. Its total area is only 32.69 square kilometers. However, its advantageous location and natural beauty make it a valuable asset for India. Recently, Lakshadweep is in the international news due to some political instability with the islands of Maldives, and it involves the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Curious to know why? Stay tuned till the end of the video. Now, Lakshadweep is a very important island for India, but did you know that India almost lost this island to Pakistan? And this is the story of how India kept Pakistan away from Lakshadweep. Without the smart, visionary, and inclusive diplomacy of an Indian leader known as Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Pakistan would have taken control of the tropical paradise, a strategically significant Arabian Sea post. Now, who was Sardar Patel? Vallabhbhai Patel, also known as Sardar Patel, was a prominent figure in India's independence movement. Born on October 31, 1875, he played a crucial role in unifying the country after gaining independence in 1947. As the first Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister of India, Patel successfully integrated numerous princely states, showcasing strong leadership and determination. His efforts earned him the moniker Iron Man of India. Patel's legacy is celebrated for his instrumental role in shaping the early post-independence history of India through skilled diplomacy and strategic negotiations with various leaders. The British ruled Lakshadweep when India gained its independence. Despite its complexity, religion served as a foundation for the Indian subcontinent's partition process. Lakshadweep was low-hanging fruit for the newly formed state of Pakistan, since its population was predominantly Muslim. And if you didn't know, Pakistan was separated from India after its independence from the Britishers. The islands of Lakshadweep are near the Malabar coast of southern India. It was reported that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, possessing keen political acumen, acknowledged the strategic significance of Lakshadweep and instructed the Mudaliar brothers to dispatch a ship manned by security personnel to the islands. Now, who were the Mudaliar brothers? Diplomat Arcot Ramasamy Mudaliar presided over the UN Economic and Social Council for the first time and was the final Dewan of Mysore. In addition to being the longest-serving vice-chancellor of Madras University for 27 years, his brother, Arcot Lakshmanaswamy Mudaliar, chaired the World Health Organization's executive board in 1949 and 1950. Sardar Patel gave the brothers orders to head straight to Lakshadweep with the Travancore community and unveil the tricolor there. In addition, he prevented Pakistan's plans to subtly seize the islands by dispatching the Indian Navy to the port of Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep became a Union territory upon the enactment of the States Reorganization Act of 1956. After thwarting Pakistan's attempts, Sardar Patel asked the Mudaliar brothers to personally see to it. In fact, if India was 30 minutes late, Lakshadweep could be part of Pakistan. Why suddenly Lakshadweep is the talk of the town? And what is the reason behind Maldives and India conflict? The dispute began on January 2nd, when Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Union territory of Lakshadweep. While there, he posted an apparently innocent picture of himself lounging in a lounge chair at a white sand beach in Lakshadweep, a tropical archipelago of 36 atolls and coral reefs in the Lakshadweep Sea, off the coast of Kerala. In additional photos, the 73-year-old Modi was seen snorkeling while donning an orange life jacket. Some in the Maldives, whose economy is largely reliant on tourism, were offended by Modi's tranquil images, which they saw as an attempt to entice visitors away from the archipelago in the Indian Ocean. Maldivian Deputy Minister for Youth Empowerment, Mariam Shiuna, criticized Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a now-deleted post on X, calling him a terrorist, a clown, and a puppet of Israel. Since then, a large number of Indians, including well-known actors and cricket players, have openly supported initiatives to promote nearby beaches and other tourist destinations. Bookings for flights to the Maldives were also suspended by one of the biggest travel websites in India. 3 Maldivian ministers who made disparaging remarks about Modi on social media have been suspended by the Maldives government, which distanced itself from their remarks in the face of intense criticism. One thing that becomes clear when looking more closely at the dynamics of the relationship between India and the Maldives is that the current tension has been building for a while. However, given that both parties stand to gain from keeping the relationship intact, it is likely that in the coming days, India and the Maldives will try to keep things under control and preserve their cordial relationship. Tensions between India and the Maldives have increased in recent years, following the accusations made by the archipelago nation regarding India's meddling in its domestic affairs. The India Out campaign gained traction and eclipsed the India First policy of former Maldivian President Ibrahim Mohammed Solih. The relationship has taken a sharp turn since Mohamed Moizu, the current president of the Maldives, was elected and took office in November. He is perceived as having stronger ties with China, which will reduce India's influence over the archipelago. Moizu has threatened to review agreements with India and demanded that India remove its army personnel stationed there. India is also worried about Moizu's departure from the long-standing custom of Maldivian presidents paying their first official visit to New Delhi, which may have been perceived as a slight. During the administration of another former president, Abdullah Yamin Abdul Gayoom, issues with India's relationship with the Maldives emerged. However, under President Solih, relations between New Delhi and the Maldives significantly improved. The president of the Maldives at the moment, though, appears to have leaned closer to China. 1972 saw the establishment of China-Maldives bilateral relations. Since then, the Chinese have kept friendly relations with the various Maldivian governments while progressively increasing their investments in the Maldives. Chinese investments in the Maldives by 2014 included housing developments, a national museum, a building for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Maldives, and several renewable energy projects. In addition to being the main source of tourists visiting the Maldives, China recently joined the country as a partner in a free trade agreement. The Heritage Foundation reports that China's influence in the Maldives has increased recently. The total debt of the Maldives is estimated to be $6.5 billion, or more than 30% of its gross domestic product. Of that, the Maldives owe China an estimated $1.4 billion, with some estimates putting that amount as high as $3.5 billion. This might cause the region's power dynamics to change. However, there is a long history of close, amicable relations between India and the Maldives in terms of military, economic, and strategic cooperation. Diplomatic ties were established between the two countries in 1966, following the Maldives' independence from British rule. One of the first countries to acknowledge the independence of the Maldives was India. India and the Maldives have remained close ever since. In order to fulfill his election promises and realize his vision for the country, Moizu must manage relations with all significant stakeholders and partners in the region. Given the economic circumstances in the Maldives and the geopolitical landscape of the area, India has to make sure that the relationship is handled properly by expressing its own sensitivities to the presence of extra-regional powers in the context of dual-purpose strategic projects, and by acknowledging the sensitivities of the small state. Given the Maldives' sensitivity to the presence of foreign armed forces there, India can offer to continue providing the same services using civilian personnel. We hope this video gave you a glimpse into the twists and turns of the interesting history of Lakshadweep and India. Keep exploring, stay curious, and stay tuned for more insights into the world's geopolitical landscape. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us.